And welcome back, everyone. My name's Gio. In this video, Billy B and I will be giving you our thoughts about the AFC South division. Here are the future totals for wins for every team and the odds to win the division, conference, and Super Bowl. We'll start off with the Houston Texans, who Vegas have at winning 8.5 games this year. If 2017 was any indication, the Texans might have themselves a superstar in wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins. They might have another one in last year's rookie quarterback Deshaun Watson, who unfortunately hurt himself and was lost for the year. But those two hooked up to make the Houston Texans offense very potent. Romeo Crennel is back as the defensive coordinator. 2 seasons ago, the Texans had the top-ranked defense in the NFL with Crennel running things. J.J. Watt returns after breaking his leg, and the Texans still have a lot of talent in Jadeveon Clowney, Wynton Marsalis, who was lost for the year. They also brought in safety Tyrann Mathieu. If Watson, Watt, and Marsalis recover, this is a team that could be very good in 2018. My best-case scenario for Houston would be to go 4-2 in the division and maybe 7-3 in the other 10 games. I think they'll end up with a 10-6 record, which is over the 8.5, so I strongly recommend that you take the over. I'm not sure if they'll win the division, though, and I'm not going to put money on them to win the conference or the Super Bowl. Next up are the Indianapolis Colts, who Vegas have at winning 6.5 games this year. Playing without star quarterback Andrew Luck last year was about the same as when they played that 1 year without Peyton Manning. Bad. Indy's only wins came against the Browns, who lost every game, an overtime game against the Niners, who were really struggling at the time, and a sweep of Houston with the Texans playing with their backup. Luck will be the key to any success the Colts have in 2018. He hasn't looked particularly sharp in the preseason so far. I'm not sure he'll be 100% this year. My best scenario for the Colts is going 2-4 in their division and maybe 5-5 in the other 10 games. But I think they're looking at a 5-11 season, which is a little bit below the number that Vegas has. I'll be putting money on the under. Forget about them winning the division, conference, or the Super Bowl. Up next are the Jacksonville Jaguars, who Vegas has at 9 wins. After drafting in the top 5 for an NFL record 6 straight years, the Jags have finally put together a solid team. They led the New England Patriots in the second half of last year's AFC Championship game until New England's experience and Jacksonville's lack of experience came into play. The biggest difference was first-round draft pick running back Leonard Fournette, who rushed for 1,040 yards and helped the Jaguars to an NFL-best 141.4 yards per game last year running the football. And then, of course, there's the Jacksonville defense, which allowed the second fewest points in the NFL last year. But the division should tighten up this year with returns of quarterbacks Andrew Luck and Deshaun Watson to Indianapolis and Houston, respectively. Last year was a great experience for this very young team. Their only weakness is at quarterback. Let's face it, Blake Bortles is a bum. My best-case scenario for Jacksonville is to go 4-2 in their division and 8-2 in the other 10 games. I do think they'll end up going 10-6, which is a little bit more than what Vegas has them pegged at, and I do think they'll win their division. So I'm going to put money on them on the over. I'll also put money on them to win the division. I'm not sure if they'll win the conference, though, and I'm not going to bet on them in the Super Bowl. And finally, we have the Tennessee Titans, who Vegas has at winning 8 games this year. The Titans shocked a lot of people by not only making the postseason last year, but actually winning a playoff game. That still wasn't enough as Tennessee fired their coaching staff. In comes new head coach Mike Vrabel, who was a great player under Bill Belichick. But maybe even more importantly is the new offensive coordinator, Matt LaFleur, who helped the Los Angeles Rams offense go from worst to first last year. It's hard for me to really put my finger on this team. Marcus Mariota is a good quarterback, but it's hard to get too excited about this offense. The same thing can be said about the defense. They're good, just not great. Malcolm Butler, who also came over from New England, should help. My best case scenario for the Titans is for them to go 4-2 in the division this year and 6-4 the rest of the 10 games. But realistically, I can't see them doing any better than 8-8, which is basically what Vegas has them at. So I don't think I'll be putting any money on them on the over-under, and I don't think they'll win the division, conference, or Super Bowl. I'm going to pass on betting the Titans this year. Okay, that's my take for the AFC South. For his thoughts on this division, here's Billy B.
First up for the AFC South is the Houston Texans. With a healthy Deshaun Watson, I expect the Texans to make some noise this season. J.J. Watt also says he is healthy as he's ever been in recent years, and the Texas defense is top 10 in the NFL. The Texans have an all-around good roster, and I have them as my dark horse AFC team. I have them going over the 8.5 win total, and I would bet this as it's one of my favorite bets in the AFC. I would also bet them to win the AFC South at plus 190, and also would bet them to win the AFC at 10-1 and the Super Bowl at 20-1. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts. One of the most important players in the NFL to their particular team is Andrew Luck. Without Luck, the Colts have no chance. Luck looks good so far in the preseason. They have improved the offensive line in front of him finally. The defense still is a couple pieces away, but they will improve. I have the Colts going just under their win total of 6.5, but I would not bet them. I also wouldn't bet them for the AFC South or AFC Conference and Super Bowl. I would not bet them. Next is the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars have a defense to be feared, but with Blake Bortles as the quarterback, he can only take them so far. The coaches in front office have proven that they have a hard time committing to Bortles, and it showed on the field last season in the playoff game versus the Patriots. They also have one of the worst wide receiver cores in the AFC, which isn't doing Blake Bortles any favors. The Jags will win games this year because of their defense and running game. However, I do have them going under their total of 9. But I would not bet this. I also wouldn't bet them for the AFC South or AFC and Super Bowl. Last, we have the Tennessee Titans. The Titans need Marcus Mariota to improve, or this team is not going anywhere. He regressed last season in a big way. The Titans have a solid defense, but the offense will need some work. Will running back Derrick Henry be able to carry the load all season? I have the Titans pushing on their win total of 8 games, so I would not bet them. I also wouldn't bet them for the AFC South or AFC or Super Bowl. Okay, and those are our thoughts for the AFC South Division. Make sure you check out all of our other videos and give us a thumbs up. Give us your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope you enjoyed this video. For Gio, I'm Billy B. See you next time, and let's take the man's money.